everyone. Welcome back to the Stay-at-Home Bookkeeper Behind the Business. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest questions we hear from people who want to start their bookkeeping business, and that is, how do I know if I'm actually ready to take on clients?
Yes. And if you have ever felt that little voice saying, I'm not legit yet, or I'm worried about messing up my first client, this conversation is for you. And we have an awesome resource here who is ready to share. Her name is Christy Lawson. She is a bookkeeping business owner and is our student success coordinator here at the Stay at Home Bookkeeper Academy. She is just awesome. She is going to be here to break down the process and show you how simple it really is to get started. Welcome, Christy. How you doing today?
Hey, thank you guys. I'm doing great. Hope you are as
Awesome.
well.
Well, for any of you who hasn't met Christy yet, I'd love, Christy, if you can share a little bit about yourself, your story, and why you're here.
I am a mom of four. And before I joined the Bookkeeping Academy, I was working 50 plus hours every week, and just couldn't handle that anymore. The job didn't flow with my schedule, and I wanted to be there for my kids. So fast forward through the academy, I now have 27 clients, and I have control over my own income and my time and my schedule. So that brought me back here to help support, the students, and hoping that they, come into the same journey that I am.
Awesome. All right, well, let's just kick things off. Is that okay if we ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
All right, so while we're doing this, we want engagement. So we want to make sure that you're here with us live. And if you have any questions, you can post them in there as well. If things resonate with you, we want to see emojis. We want to see you very engaged with us. So, Chrissy, we're going to ask you the first question I have is, let's think back when you started your business. Did you feel 100% ready to take on your first client? And what was going back through your mind at that time?
That's a really good question. I totally did not feel ready, not even, definitely not 100%, probably not even 1% ready. And going back, I thought they're totally going to find out that I'm new. They're totally going to find out, I have no experience doing this. And they're going to, laugh in my face. Is kind of how I took it. Um, but as I was going through that, I was like, everybody's new. Everybody is new at something. And it was really a push that kind of said, well, if they laugh in my face and they laugh in my face and that's it. I kind of had that in my head. And I just kind of took the leap and just got out there. And nobody laughed in my face. So it was a win because I didn't get laughed at. But yeah, no, I totally did not feel ready.
All right, so and that's great because I think people they have a fear of I'm not quite ready yet. So what do you think, talking about that, what do you think is the number one thing that you see that holds people back from saying yes to their very first client? Is it
Yeah,
fear? Is it what do you see that might be?
fear is probably 100%, the main reason. And it's because of those things that I felt too, fear that they're going to find out that, you're new, fear that you don't know everything that you possibly wouldn't think you need to know. And fear that whatever you're doing isn't perfect. So if you're starting a market, that your marketing isn't perfect, or that you don't have a perfect elevator pitch when you're going to an in-person meeting. So it's just all of those fears, wrapped up into it. So yeah, fear 100% is the main reason.
I love that. And I've also seen others that have been like, I don't have my website ready. I don't have my LLC. I don't have the skill set. Like I've seen all of those as people that have said those things. But I do agree with you. I think fear is probably one of the bigger ones. Really quickly, because we like engagement here, Emily, I want to see people in here type in what is one thing that is holding you back. If you could really just admit one thing, I want to see it in the chat.
Yep. And as everyone is writing that below, Christy, can you talk a little bit about certifications? What would you say to someone who thinks they need to be fully QBO certified or have years of experience and accounting degree before they can start a business?
Yeah, I would say don't. Don't
Simple. I
worry
like
about
it.
it. Yeah. I mean I did. I went and got mine. But it didn't get me anywhere. Like, no, none of my clients go, "Are you a QuickBooks Pro advisor? Are you a certified QuickBooks bookkeeper?" Or I have never had that question asked ever. In fact, I ended up letting mine lapse because it wasn't doing anything for me. In fact, I got more scams you know, uh, from their advertising than I did, bookkeeping business. So I would say, if you want it, that's great, but not something I would focus on at all in the beginning. I would focus on getting clients and then maybe, get it later.
Yeah, and when you think a lot about certain standardized testing and things like that, when you're really just studying to pass something versus studying to gain the skill, I hear a lot from about that from you and our other mentors that, you think that this is going to give you all of the skills, and once I have that stamp, that's what it's going to give you that confidence. But no, it's really working with your first clients. So I want to go on that train of thought as far as confidence. What is your take on confidence? Do you think it comes before you get your first client or after?
That's a good question. I think it depends. So I think that confidence in yourself is going to grow after taking your first client. Confidence in bookkeeping, just in general, or being a business owner, is going to come after your client. But I'm a firm believer of the fake it till you make it. So
Mhm.
you have to present yourself a little confident, and so that can go a long way before. But yeah, most of the confidence I would say comes after.
That's great. So I'm going to ask you kind of a couple different questions all in one. So here's what I want you to walk us through, Christy, the bare minimum basics that somebody, like, this is real talk, that somebody really needs to be in order to say, I'm client ready. What do you think that is?
So the biggest thing that somebody will need is their QuickBooks Online accountant. That's how they're going to work for their clients. So they need that. Um, they need a way to communicate. So a phone number, even if that's their personal one, a phone number, and then an email address. That's going to be the way that their clients really engage with them. Um, and then they really need a way to get paid. So we recommend the QuickBooks merchant account, because it's the easiest way to just link everything together and get paid. But people can use Stripe or Square or whatever they feel comfortable getting paid with.
So that's nice and simple. What you're essentially saying
Yeah,
is you need
Yeah,
a system to a short system to do the work, a system to communicate the work, and a system to get paid for your work. So I
I
mean,
like the last one. That was
yeah,
my favorite.
exactly. Mine too. You don't need thousands and thousands of dollars of inventory or
no,
things to sell. It's just
simple.
providing that service nice and simple. I love
Yeah.
that. So, um, what would you say to a person who may be watching this thinking, if someone would message me and want to hire me today, I'd panic. So, we have the fear of people reaching out to get their first client, but we also hear the fear of, oh gosh, I have somebody who wants my services and this is my first time doing this. What do I do? Can you speak to that fear?
Yeah, I would say it's 1000% normal. It really is, because it's like, okay, hey, I got this client, now what? But the big thing is, especially as part of the academy and as I went through, I knew that I had a team behind me. So that's the thing. So, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm ready for you to hire me," the biggest thing is to take a deep breath and, reach out to the mentors and say, "Okay, I have this, now what is my plan? What are my steps?" And, we can guide them obviously on that. But yeah, the biggest thing is to take a deep breath and you're ready. It's you're a lot more ready than you think.
Hmm.
I agree with you. Here's another one because I've seen that you've been on both sides, right? First
Mhm.
you were a brand new bookkeeper and now you're a mentor to others. So, what would be your advice to someone who's waiting to feel legit before they get started? What would you say?
Um, it's a good question. Dude, don't wait. I mean, the way that you feel legit is by doing, because that's the best way to learn. So
Mhm.
if you think that you're going to go through all these courses to, learn QBO or whatever accounting, um, the best way to learn is to do. So, and that's the way to grow your business too, because obviously if you're taking on clients, the more clients, you're taking on, the more you're learning and the more you're building your business and your income. So I would say, they don't need perfect, so you don't need perfect. Clients just want somebody that's going to help them, and that's what you're there for.
That is great. And that's what's so important too about mentorship and investing in yourself and education and the people who are going to help you get there to be confident. And that's what takes a little bit of that fear away is if you have a Christy, if you have a Deanna, you have people in your circle who have been there before, who have been in your shoes and can help you get past those fears. So I really appreciate that. But Christy, thank you so much for being with us here today. Your story is just an amazing reminder. It's such an inspiration, and just that we don't have to wait for perfection to get started. You just have to be ready to take that first step. And if I'm going to challenge you, everybody on here, to take that first step, I'm going to share my screen and share a QR code. If you're sitting here and you feel in your gut, this story is really resonating with me. I want to get started. I still have a little bit of fear, but I'm ready to dive in. The first step is to get on a call with us. So scan this QR code, find a time to talk with our team. We want to learn about you, where are you at in life, what are your goals, and then we can demonstrate, you're not as far away from that as you think. With the right mentorship, with the right tools, we can help you, our team can help you build a successful business to get to where you want to go. But Christy, Deanna, I want to thank you both. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Any last words before we head out?
I don't have any.
Um, no, I mean, what I will say, it's been amazing. I think we keep reiterating it on our calls, but I believe one of our other coaches always said, just do it scared. So whether you're ready or not, like just do it. So if you have any questions, like Emily said, scan the code, book a call with our team. Let us help you. It's worth a 5-minute conversation to just see if this is the right fit for you. Because where are you going to be at in 5 years, 3 years, 10 years? You might as well be making a lot of money. That's the way I look at it, right? So let us help you scan that QR code and let's book a call and let's just see if this is the right fit for you. No, everything is always worth a 5-minute conversation.